Hey everyone, how's everyone doing? All good? Whenever I do talks, I like to start off like this. Can I get a whoop whoop? Yeah, beautiful. So, like said, I'm Ibrahim Kamara, and I'm one of the co-founders of Guap. I'm going to share a little bit of my story today. So cool. For those of you who don't know, Guap is a youth-led new media platform dedicated to discovering, showcasing, and nurturing emerging creative talent. We started in 2015, and since then, we've worked with various brands that we love and adore. However, it wasn't always like this, so let's go straight back to the beginning. Cool. Put your hand up here, quickly here, if any of you have been told by anyone that you should be one of these things, or in your journey you wanted to be one of these things. Cool. So when I was growing up here, these were actually the only set careers that I actually thought of thinking about that I wanted to do. So that was either being a rapper, or being a footballer, or being a doctor or accountant, because my parents said I had to be one. Or, if I'm being honest, like the people around me, a lot of them were like doing negative things, and that actually had an influence on what I wanted to be when I was growing up. And I think me and my business partner come from like similar backgrounds. We're from like South London. Anyone from South London here? Yeah, come on, South London, you have to make more noise, man, come on. We're from South London, and when we was growing up, everyone wanted to be these things, and we was like, the only reason everyone wants to be these things is because it's like the only things that were like showcased to us. So we said we wanted to make a platform that would showcase real life people from similar backgrounds to us doing creative things. Because a lot of the platforms that came from the culture were music-based platforms or sport-based platforms or just platforms that didn't really spotlight creativity as a career. So we wanted to be one of the first platforms to, showcase emerging creatives. And I want to make a key point around emerging. A lot of the platforms we looked up to really profiled people who were already at their peak, but there wasn't like a platform that would like find a young photographer who went to SFX in South London, who's literally at the start of their journey and putting them on. And we felt like that kind of platform was needed and giving them the same type of spotlight we would give someone who was big. So literally, it was myself with a camera and my friend doing the interviews, Jide, and we would literally just go around different parts of London interviewing different creatives and then putting their stories together. And literally this page here is how Guap started. So we literally wrote on a piece of paper, Guap, and at the time, Guap had several meanings. I don't like saying them, but one of them was like, get up and proceed, really cheesy. But we wanted the brand to really be a brand around inspiring young people to go and chase their dreams. So all of these little lines were different content ideas we thought we would do. So like we had things like 0 to 100, which was like finding people who came from nothing and then became big people. Then we had things like an online blog, which we obviously have now. We have things like Rising Star, which was to like find creative entrepreneurs and share their story. And it all was like all these different content pieces just to spotlight talent at the very core of it. And that's initially how we started. But then in 2016, we said, you know what? Let's take these videos that we're creating and actually make a magazine. So at first, we were just trying to make like an online newsletter. And it was going to be something where we create videos and then we send a newsletter to people and people would watch the content. But then I went to like an event and someone told me about augmented reality. And they said, using augmented reality, you can bring a print to life. So we was like, oh, we have all these videos, so how do we integrate those videos into a print magazine? So in 2016, we created our first magazine cover with someone called Yinka Bikini, who was someone I literally saw at a party that looked creative. I went up to her, asked her what she does. I found out her Instagram, found out she was quite famous, and I was like, oh, do you want to be my cover star? And she said, yeah. So, and then we literally shot that in Peckham, opposite my dad's shop. And yes, that was our first cover, but it literally was like the first depiction of what we wanted to basically showcase to the world. And from 2016, we literally just, again, was going around documenting these stories, but we had never seen our audience online. I mean, never had seen our audience in real life. We had just been putting out these stories and we was building this community. And then around the middle of 2016, we done an event called Guap Party, which was, again, a spotlight of talent that we thought were going to do amazing things. So we had people like, who was at our first one? We had people like House of Pharaohs, we had people like Nadia Rose, we had like Lance Foe, all the people who are like really big now, but at that time they were on the come up, and we just thought we should get all these artists in one space and like spotlight them. And we done that, and then literally, this was the first time we had seen our audience in real life. It was literally in Brixton at a venue called Dog Star. I think the capacity was 350 people. And I remember coming out and seeing this picture, seeing this crowd, so I took a picture. And literally, that was the first time we saw that there was an audience for what we was doing in real life. And so from there, we went on to, again, continue creating. But then in 2017, we started working with institutions and brands. And in 2017, we became the youth ambassadors for the ICA, which is like an institute that do creative stuff in central London. It's one of those buildings that you've probably seen, but I've never gone into. But like they do really cool stuff. And they brought us on to basically help them get youth and young creatives within their space. And we was there with a popular creator now called Slumflower, and then we basically helped to create creative events for them. And at the time, they were paying us very, very minimal, but we done it because this was like the first time we had like worked with any company. And yeah, when we came into that space, we done exactly what we've been doing from the start, and that was that putting on talent. So when we came on, we made this festival that was in collaboration with the Sunflower ICA, and we even had Vice involved. And then it had people like, now I'm looking at this lineup was really good because it was actually really good. Had people like Nux, who's like doing amazing right now. Samuel Eni's a great presenter right now. Sophia Tassou's doing amazing. And it was literally like a festival that had film screenings, it had panel talks, it had live music. And again, I think the running thing through our journey is that we've always tried to spotlight emerging creators throughout our journey and put them on in any realm that we've gone in. And then all of this work that I've said now helped us to get to the point where we managed to get our first office. So in 2018, anyone heard of Peckham Levels? Yeah, so in 2018, we was like one of the first cohort to be in Peckham Levels, and it was, funny enough, it was us here, and then, do you not remember the magazine Gowdem? Gowdem were next door, and then on the other side of us, has anyone seen a thing on BBC called Dreaming While Black? Yeah, so they were next door. So literally, again, just a pool of talent, and literally our first office was the size of a car park space. I'm being so serious. And we painted these walls ourselves, yellow, stuck that vinyl by ourselves, and we were so proud of this space because it made our business feel real. Oh, just to point out, up until this point, we still weren't making money. Just saying, we're very, very broke. Very, very broke. Our office was at £250 a month, so it was quite affordable. But yeah, we was happy with the space because it felt like, yeah, it just made our dreams feel a bit more real. It allowed people to come into our space, come into our world, and we managed to create content within this space. But then we also realized we now have an office and we now have to make money. So in 2018 is when we launched our creative agency. So we realized that we've got this audience that brands want to tap into and connect with. And we basically created this magazine cover to basically encapsulate everything what Guap was about. And we also created a campaign video with it, which I'll play shortly, which was to showcase what we could do if a brand was to come and pay us to do something. So because we didn't have no brands coming to us in that sense, we basically used the resources we have to create an example video that we would use to go to clients and get work. So this is like a quick preview of what it was.
It's clear we ain't the same. Our buzz just can't be tamed. Youth culture is just way too flames. This revolution will be televised. Let the word spread. Go as fast as say you're telling Nike. Just come correct like a Nike tick. I'ma just do my bit to make sure this revolution is heard of. The W is coming home. Make sure they can detect it like Sherlock. Truth.
I think I'm running out of time, so I'm trying to, I don't want to, I think no one's signaled to me yet, but I am, innit? Am I not? Am I calm? Oh, okay, I should have carried it on. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry, but yeah, that video, there's a line in that video that says, we are young, we are creative, we are the future. So when I was going to agencies and when I was going to brands, I was showing them that video. That video showcased young, diverse creatives who were doing amazing things in their spaces. And then it was narrated by a young poet who had never done that kind of thing. But again, that kind of was like a catalyst for us to get in brand work. So again, I think what I'm basically saying that for is, if you ain't working with brands already, do what you want them to pay you for, and then basically just send it to them. And it should do something. And then in that year, we got a lot of clients, and then we managed to get our second office. This was still in Peckham. And then in 2020, we had all these plans of, oh yeah, it's going to be so sick, we're going to rule the world. And then COVID came, and then basically knocked us down. But just before COVID came, we hired our first team, which was kind of crazy now that I'm thinking about it. And funny enough, yeah, COVID was bad, but it was actually extremely good for us, because during COVID, I feel like everyone paused and realized why platforms like Guap were important for culture. So before then, like I said, we weren't really working with brands, but post 2020, everyone wanted to start reaching this next generation of young, diverse, creative audience. And we were like one of the only platforms that had that organically. So our year actually changed from 2020, and this is actually where we started making money. Now, give me a round of applause for making money. Because I won't lie, that was a hard 5 years of making no money. It was a really hard year, as I was living in overdraft for a long time. But yeah, big up 2020. And in 2021, this was like another big catalyst for us. In 2021, we was approached by a brand called Kurt Geiger by a random email. I genuinely thought it was fake. And they basically said to us, they were basically trying to tap into London and what London looks like today. And they didn't tell me it was a pitch. They just asked me to come up with ideas. And then we pitched the ideas, and then they told us there was other agencies pitching for it. So we didn't know. But then when we pitched, we obviously won it. And then, no, I'm just saying we won it, innit? So, and we basically brought some new freshness to the brand. And this was like one of the photos of it. But here's like a better example of what that it actually meant. So before us, this is what they were creating, which is nice. But in 2021, yeah, we brought the London, we brought the creativity, we brought diversity onto the set. They literally said to us, both behind the scenes and in front of the camera, that's the most diverse set of people they've ever worked with. And it was a lot of people who were in it, like the models. It was the first time they had been on billboards. It was the first time some of the people working on the set had done something of that scale. So I was really proud of this campaign because, yeah, it had real impact for everyone. And then in 2022, we decided to take our spotlight in a step further, and we decided to make something called the Guap Gala, which is a gala/award ceremony for creatives, because we felt like a lot of the award ceremonies within culture only spotlight certain categories, but we wanted to put something where industry professionals could get spotlighted. People who do amazing things in the community can get spotlighted. Photographers, stylists, and put basically everyone on a playing field. This one's a video. I'm going to ask, can I play the full one? Okay, thank you. So this is the Guap Gala, if you ain't seen it before.
I just do see you laters, no goodbyes. New flows, new highs. Through the dark clouds, see the blue skies. It will be I, J-U-A. It's a new day. Ride in the storm like a new wave. Shake, shake, shake. Moving to the beat now. Got the heat now, deep down, we know. Dive right in, let's go. You wanna dip in your toes. Let the rhythm take control. It's going down, tonight, yeah. Dive right in, let's go. You wanna dip in your toes. Let the rhythm take control. It's going down tonight, yeah.
Thanks, guys. So yeah, with the Guap Gala, event concept was one of our parties, by the way. So with the Guap Gala, it was just something we wanted to create that was like, we wanted something that was cool. We felt like a lot of award shows are boring, so we wanted something that integrated the award show experience, but then also had the experience of like the Met Gala and have everyone talking about what people wore and all that kind of stuff. And it takes place every year at the Natural History Museum. And again, it's just another thing within our journey where it's like, we just want to continue spotlighting talent. So here is just like some key steps I would say for any creative that's trying to like make something out of this creative thing that we're in. I would say integrate yourself in the communities that you're trying to serve. If you're a photographer, try to be around other photographers. If you're a stylist, try to be around other stylists. Try to be with the people that you want to be with. And when you do get there, network sideways. I think a lot of people, when they come into the industry, they try to network upwards and try to like speak to people who are ahead of them ahead of them. But a lot of the people I'm now cool with or the people I've worked with are people that I probably met really early on. And as they've grown and I've grown, we've all just grown together. So in rooms like this, everyone here should be the people you should be talking to rather than the people on stage and all that kind of stuff, because you guys are like the creative industry and the future industry. So just know that. Give more value than you receive. In any project that we've done, even when we've been paid pennies and even when we haven't been paid at all, it's always about giving as much value as you can in that situation, because sometimes value exchange isn't just money. Sometimes there's certain things you can get from giving value that will come to you 5 years down the line, 6 years down the line, and then you'll get the value back in return. Create impactful work, that's self-explanatory. Create with passion and purpose. And I would say, be undeniably creative. I feel like when you're sick, you're just sick, innit? Like it's undeniable. So you should try to get to a point where, you know what? You know you're sick. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. So thank you for having me. Yeah.